Not bad. Yo, guys, what's up? Nick here once again. Today, we're just going to be talking about this new game I've been checking out called Shredders. And I know it's not necessarily a new game. It's technically been out, I think, for like 2 years now at this point. But it's been in early access. But I believe the official version just came out this week. It's on Xbox, PS5, and I'm playing it currently on Steam, aka through my PC. And I gotta say, man, like this is probably the best snowboarding game I have ever played in my entire life. I absolutely love it. It's got a steep learning curve, I'm not gonna lie. And as you can see, I'm definitely not the best player in the game. But that being said, once you get past the learning curve, it reminds me a lot of Skate, if you guys have played that one. If you all came from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater into the Skate games, that's kind of how this feels. It's like it's arcadey enough to where I think anybody could pick up and play it and enjoy it, but it's also simulator enough, or sim enough, I should say, for diehard snowboarding fans to get a real feel for snowboarding and just to, I don't know, scratch that itch when you can't actually go out into the powder yourself. So yeah, there's a lot of controls you can tune to your liking through this game. I guess I'm going to try to showcase this without actually showing my controller on screen. So basically, you can adjust your board with the right analog stick, as I'm showing here, and your body is with the left analog stick. So you want to go left and right, you adjust your body with the left stick. If you want to, you see, like move the board left and right with the right stick. This also comes into play when you get air. So for instance, if you want to get some air and you want to do a spin, like a 180 or something, you can't just use the left stick, because I'll show you an example. So if I'm holding right and the right stick, your body somewhat moves a little bit, but it's very stiff. In order to get your body to really spin, you got to hit the right stick at the same time as the left stick, because you're moving your feet and your body to rotate. And if you really want to rotate, go left and then right at the top of the jump, and you get a massive spin. So you can go 360, 720s, but it's just wild the amount of control you have in this game to really make you feel like you're legitimately snowboarding. And not only that, but it's a good looking game too. I mean, I'm running it at max specs right now on my PC, but even on the PS5, I've seen gameplay on the Xbox, it looks gorgeous. And it runs really great. I haven't had any stutters or any issues or any situations where I felt like I had to lower the graphics to play it nicely. It also does run on the Steam Deck if you guys are curious about playing it portably. And I can run it at 30 FPS, no problem on the Steam Deck. You probably could run it a little bit better than that even if you lower the graphics, but I like to play it on medium to high. Just I love the snow effects and the lighting effects of this game. And you can do a ton of different tricks too. So you got the shoulder buttons, you got L1 and R1 to do different hand grabs. So I believe R1 is your right hand and L1 is your left hand. So if I was to show you an example here, if we go on this jump, I hit L1 and left stick, and he grabs the left side of the board. If I jump and hit R1 and right stick, he grabs with his right hand. And there's so many different tricks in the game. If we go into the menu here, we can actually look at all the different tricks available to us. Right here, you can take a screenshot if you want. These technically are all the tricks in the game at the moment. And then obviously you can do backflips, front flips. So as an example here, you can also do like butters and stuff on the ground. Tail press, nose press, you can kind of spin around and do some silly stuff like that. So there's a lot of, like I said, just control that they give to the player that just feels so satisfying. That's the best way to describe it. It's just so satisfying when you finally land that perfect line. Because again, it's not easy. It definitely is not easy. There is a learning curve, but I think it definitely is suitable to most people that can pick it up and you can learn it in a couple hours. You're not going to learn it immediately. I'll be honest. I was a little frustrated my first hour or so playing this game because it was really weird getting used to the separate control of your feet and your body. But as soon as it clicks in your brain, man, it releases all the endorphins you need to feel like you're having a fucking great time with this game. It's the best way to say it, man. It's so fun. And then if you fail, you can just go right back to where you were, or you can set waypoints or whatever, spawn points, to go back to do your line over and over again. And not only that, this game has multiplayer. So at any time, you can have it where you're in an open public server like I am right now. You can see all the online players in my area. You can also set it to a private match where you can have people join you with a code, which is super nice. You can also, as you can see, hide objects from other players or allow them. Because what this means is at any moment, you can go into this drone mode, which is super sick. So you can kind of fly around the area and look at your area or whatever. But you can also build and add objects. So if, let's say, I wanted to add like some type of ramp here, I can just kind of go through their different systems here, click this ramp, rotate it, put it the way I want it, and there we go. Now it's in the real world. So if I go back to my character, you can see my ramp is now right here and ready to go. It looks terrible, but it's just kind of cool. You can pretty much customize the entire world right out the rip. This is not just like a sandbox mode. This is the full game. So from the sandbox area, you can jump right into new missions. You can teleport to different areas in the map. And by the way, the map itself is ginormous. It is huge. And they just added an entirely new area called Glacier, which is what I'm showcasing in this video. And it's absolutely amazing. I love the different aspects of this level, of this world. There's just so many little tiny details that you're going to miss if you're not into snowboarding. I do snowboard in real life, and there's just so many amazing things that they've added in this game to really feel like you were legitimately snowboarding, and it's not just a video game. So if you're used to games like Steep, for instance, yes, Steep looks just as good as this game graphically, but I will say in terms of the feel and the weight and the realism of this game, it destroys Steep in almost every aspect. So yeah, you can go to anyone you want. You can go to different spawn points. So let's go to a random one. And it loads pretty quickly. This is obviously going to depend on your system. I believe consoles are going to load a little bit slower, but if you have an SSD in your computer, you should be up and running and no problem. And there you go. That's a real person right there online. And that's really cool. I just love the fact that you're just kind of always running into random people. You can add them as friends. You can tag along with them so you don't lose them. You can spawn on them. You can build areas with them. And it's definitely a community-focused game for sure. And I absolutely love that about this game. And that's kind of the reason I wanted to make this video, is because it's pretty underrated. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it. And I feel like a lot of people who don't snowboard or have never snowboarded in their life, they're kind of intimidated by this game. And again, I just want to say, yes, there is a learning curve, but I promise you, once you get over that first hour or so of frustration, it is one of the most satisfying games you'll ever play in your life. Like, genuinely saying that, and that's not just because I love snowboarding. It is just that much fun. And, you know, fun aside, it's also just a very relaxing game, just to kind of jump in and do a couple lines, mess around, and you just dive out whenever you want. And if you're wondering, yes, there is technically a story mode as well. There are missions you can go into from the map area. So you can see we can go to different spawns. There is obviously different missions like I was just talking about that do have voice acting, and they have real pro snowboarders giving you different missions and objectives, and they're a lot of fun to do. But I will say, some of them are extremely difficult, so be ready to rage. But they're a lot of fun. You know, I don't want to deter anybody from doing them, but yeah, it just adds extra stuff to the game and more things to do. There's also these sections called lines, which actually update randomly, and this is super fun. So let's just jump into this one right now, since it looks like it is active. If you have the red dot, that means it's ready to go. And so essentially this is happening live right now. You can see other players' scores in live, I guess, whatever you call it, like live action. And essentially you're just trying to beat each other before the timer ends. So this is just like a standard half pipe, I believe, line. So we're just trying to get the best score before you reach the bottom. I'm playing terribly, by the way. I'm just not really used to recording while talking at the same time. I usually have my gameplay separate from my voice. But there we go. So, man, guy in first, 66,000. This guy's kicking ass. But this is what I love about these lines, man. Even if you totally beat the game, you've beaten every mission, these are constantly going. So as long as there's other players online, there'll always be lines to try to go and try to beat and get your name out there on the scoreboards. So it's super cool, and you can obviously dive out of these whenever you want. You don't have to stay in it if you don't want to. Very fun. Yes, you can customize your character as well. There is a ton of cosmetics in the game. I don't know how many you can actually unlock for free. There's a lot of these that are DLC that you do have to pay with real money, but the game is $30, so I don't know. I'm not really that ashamed to say that there's microtransactions in it. It is what it is, but there's nothing that actually makes the game any better or like makes your stats any better. It's all cosmetic, so I'm fine with that. So you can change goggles, you can change your masks, your tops. So, and one thing that's kind of interesting is some of the jackets actually change the gender of the character, because there isn't an actual character customization. Like, you can't change the way your person looks or what gender they are. So for instance, if I go to this one, you can see that's pretty much a female figure, and this is a male figure. So it really kind of depends on what jacket you want and how your character is going to look in the end. Change the mitts, your pants, boots, bindings. It's kind of sick. The board itself, a lot of different boards, of course. And like I said, some of them, they do state you can play to unlock them in the game, and then other ones you do have to purchase with real money. And then there's some accessories. There's like backpacks and stuff you can get throughout the game, but that's pretty much the customization for right now. Nothing too robust, but at least they have that as an option, and you can make everything kind of look the way you want to, which is really cool. And like I said before, you can edit the terrain with the drone mode, but not only that, but you can actually teleport anywhere you want with the drone mode. So if I wanted to bring my character over here, just hit X and boom, my dude will spawn right there, which is super convenient. You can also get some cool kind of shots with this as well. You can hide the UI whenever you want. One of the coolest things, though, is the replay. So let's say you did a super sick line, like we went up here, did like a cool little spin, little indie. We landed it pretty well, and you wanted to get that as a replay and put that online or something, or upload to YouTube. So right in here, we can go into the replay editor. And as you can see, it records quite a bit of your previous session. I think it's like up to the past 5 minutes or something like that. It's pretty good. We're going to just kind of scrub through here to the part where we want to start the video. And you can see it did get the entire section here of my spin. So let's say we wanted to start right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all these camera angles from the beginning, or at least up until this point. I'm going to remove all the camera angles at the end as well, so I want to customize this to my liking. So you can fully move the camera just like the drone mode. We're going to go to where I want to start. So let's say right here. We're going to set a camera point. We're going to go down here. Let's switch our camera maybe underneath the jump. Like right there. Set a camera point. So this is what it looks like right now. It's going to switch to this camera. I jump over this area. Perfect. All right, and this is what it looks like when I hit play. Isn't that sick? Oh my god, that's so cool. You can make some really cool clips with this system. It's very simple. There's not a whole lot of editing you can do. There is advanced options if I hold down right button, for instance. So you can do play pause, you can set slow motion sections, you can remove all camera points if you don't want to go through individually. I was scrubbing before, like you saw, field of view, hide UI, so if you want to record it yourself. And then you also have first person view on and off. You can crop it, aspect ratio, sun direction, sun height, and the hide UI once again. So first person view is actually kind of sick. So I'll show you what this looks like. This is kind of, this is going to look kind of vomit inducing, but here we go. This is so sweet, man. Straight from the GoPro. Hell yeah. So yeah, you can turn that off and on and just kind of make it the way you want. And then when you're done, you can exit out of the editor here and you can hit save and it'll save that replay. So I guess you can have other players in your replay and you can actually remove them if you don't want them there, which is kind of sick as well. So I'm going to say that's only for me. And then at any time you can hit load and go to your previous replays and again record them with OBS or any type of recording software you have on your computer to then upload that to the internet. I would hope one day they do add some way to upload these straight to social media from the game itself. That'd be super sick, especially for people who are on console, for instance, and they don't want to have to go through the console's version of recording and uploading because it's kind of cumbersome. But for right now, still a super sick system, very easy to use. And anybody, even a goofball like me, can figure it out and upload their replays for everybody to see. But yeah, that essentially is Shredders. Now, I didn't go into everything that this game has to offer, like I said, but there is a lot of missions and stuff like that to find out throughout the game. There's a lot of collectibles to find as well, which is really fun to mess around with. And honestly, some of the collectibles are really hard to get. So it's a challenge, but it's fun, you know? And like I said, it's also a game that's just fun to jump in and mess around with for a few hours, kind of take your mind away from the stress of life and just kind of go through a sick line here or there, you know? So yeah, Shredders. Check it out on PS5, Xbox, and PC through Steam. I'm not affiliated with these guys. I'm not sponsored, nothing, but I just really wanted to check this game out and show you guys my happiness with it, and it's just how much fun it is, and I hope more people check it out. So, with that, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, share, support as always, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Always see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.